Hi guys, so let's continue with the second part of the discussion for this paper 1. So let's look at question 11. Which of the following substances is acidic? So this is a very easy question. So carbon dioxide is acidic, and then most of the metal oxide we can group it as alkali, and then for sure ammonia is a weak alkali also. Meanwhile, sodium hydroxide is the strong alkali. So for question 11, the answer will be A, carbon dioxide. So for information, carbon dioxide, when it dissolves in the water, it is slightly acidic. Okay. 12. What ion is produced when a hydrogen ion combines with the water molecule? So hydrogen ion is H plus combined with the water molecule. So as the first part of the video, I have said that water is actually like this. The structure of water is like this, and then there is a lone pair of electron at the oxygen atom, and then hydrogen is empty orbital. Why? Because there is a plus sign beside the H. So it means that the hydrogen ion already donates or loses its electron. So when there is a lone pair electron, it means that this lone pair electron can be donated to the hydrogen ion. Why? Because this hydrogen ion has the empty orbital, which can accept a lone pair electron from the donor. So in this case, we can say that the water molecule is a donor, electron donor, and then the hydrogen ion will be a electron acceptor. So this is actually a coordinate bond, the formation of a coordinate bond, or we said it as dative bond. This is just the extra knowledge which you need to understand when you sit for your SPM exam. So okay, when it combines together, it will form the hydroxonium ion. Okay, so the answer would be B. So for information, ammonium ion is formed when there is ammonia that donates its electron to the hydrogen ion, forming the ammonium ion. Okay, question 13. Which of the following terminology for chemical substances that ionize partially in water to produce low concentration of the hydroxide ion? So this is something related to acid and base in your Form 4 syllabus. So chemical substance, so in this question, the keywords is ionizes partially in water to produce low concentrations of the hydroxide ion. Ionizes partially means that it can only produce low concentration of hydroxide ions. For information, acid, when it ionizes in water, produce hydrogen ion. So definitely the hydroxide ion is produced by the base, or we say alkali. So there is a difference between low concentration hydroxide ion and high concentration of ions. So definitely, if there is a strong acid, it will produce more hydrogen ions. If there is weak acid, it will produce low concentrations of the hydrogen ions. So for the strong base, also the same. For strong base, it will produce high concentrations of hydroxide ion, while weak alkali or weak base will produce less concentrations of the hydrogen ions. So in this case, the answer would be weak alkali, which is A. Okay, question 14. Which solution has the highest concentrations of the hydroxide ion? So it's given that the solution WXYZ and its respective pH value. So we know that this is a pH scale. At pH 7, that is neutral. When we goes to the left side, it means that the acid strength is high. It's very high. And then when it goes to the right, it means that the alkali strength is gradually increased. So in this case, we want to know which solution has the highest concentrations of the hydroxide ion. Definitely we need to choose those that at the right hand side, at your right hand side. So meaning that, okay, here all are alkali, just that these two we can consider it as weak alkali, and then here are strong alkali. So the higher the pH value, the higher the concentrations of the hydroxide ion. So the answer would be Z, which is D donkey. Okay, question 15. This is related to the rate of reactions. Okay, which of the following is correct method to calculate the rate of reaction at 30 seconds? Okay, in this question, the keywords is at 30 seconds. It means that it wants you to identify very specifically at the 30 seconds what is the rate of reactions. So in order to find the rate of the instantaneous rate of reaction, you need to draw a tangent line at the 30 seconds, and then you need to calculate the gradient. For example, x1, y1, and then x2, y2. So for sure, you need to calculate the gradient. So gradient is equals to the y coordinate, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So this is the answer. So for question 15, D is the answer. So let's look at the question 16. Which of the following is a reducing agent? So, okay, this is something related to the redox reactions. So in a redox reaction, there will be a reducing agent and an oxidizing agent. But in this question, we need to focus on the reducing agent. So reducing agent can be defined as substance that loses electron and undergo an increase in the oxidation number. So reducing agent is a substance that reduces the other substances in the redox reactions, but itself will undergo oxidation. So there is a quick tips for you to know. Reducing agent is anything that is any metals and then halide ions. For example, the group 17 elements, the ions, fluoride ion, iodide ion, bromine ion, and so on. And the third one is the most specific reducing agent, which is the iron 2 ion, because we usually will see iron 2 or iron 3 in the redox reactions, especially in bahagian B. So for sure, C and D is the oxidizing agent since it's not included in this list. So the answer would be B, potassium bromide, because it is a halide ion. Okay, let's look at question 17. Diagram 5 below shows the reactions between magnesium and a hydrochloric acid. So we need to come out a chemical equation for this. So this chemical equation is already balanced. So we will observe that this H2 is actually a gas. So this gas can be used as an indicator to measure the rate of reactions. So let's look at the option given. So the color of the solution per unit time. Color of the solution, what does it mean? Is it the color of the solution become colorless or even more colorful? So this one is not applicable because HCl is actually colorless. So B is increases in mass of the magnesium per unit time. So based on this equation, magnesium is actually a reactant. So when the reaction proceeds, the reactant will slowly decreases because most of the magnesium has been already converted into the magnesium chloride. So if we need to correct this statement, we need to say that the mass of the magnesium would decrease per unit time. And then C is the increases in the volume of hydrogen gas per unit time. So this statement is correct because hydrogen gas has been already released. It is being displaced by the magnesium to form the hydrogen gas. So we can see that when the reaction proceeds, there are more hydrogen gas being released until all the magnesium has been converted to the magnesium chloride. And then for the statement D, decreases in the concentration of the hydrochloric acid per unit time. We can also measure this D as the method we measure for the rate of reaction, but it is more complicated. So very obviously the most safe answer will be C. Yeah. So question 18. The following ionic equation represents a chemical reaction. So we can see that X plus Y2 positive will and then form X2 positive plus Y. So for X, the oxidation number is 0. If you look at this is only an X, so it means that the oxidation, it is an element. So the oxidation number will be 0. So for the oxidation number for for X, it increases from 0 to 2 positive. While the oxidation number for Y decreases from 2 positive to 0. So this is the increase in the oxidation number for X, and Y is the decrease in the concentration for decrease in the oxidation number for Y, sorry. So increase in the oxidation number meaning that it is undergo oxidation. So this one will be the opposite, which is the reduction. So if it undergo oxidation, it meaning that it is a reducing agent because it reduces the other substances. So Y undergo reduction meaning that it is a oxidizing agent because it oxidizes the other substances. So okay, the oxidized substance undergoes oxidize and become this X2 plus, and then Y2 plus will undergo reduce because it become Y. So oxidizing agent would be Y2 positive, reducing agent would be. So now is question 19. Diagram 6 shows the uses of the two different materials X and Y. So one is the main element in material X and Y. So this one you need to memorize. I believe that this will be included. You can find the answer from your textbook. So we need to go quick. This answer would be copper. Yeah. So let's look at question 20. So let's look at question 20. Diagram 7 below shows the conversions of the compound X to compound Y, and then compound X is a colorless liquid. This is the hint given, volatile and soluble in water. So it is asking you what is compound Z. So the directions between X and Y will produce Z. So this requires you to very familiar with the conversions of the organic compound from one to another one. So let's look at this. So we start from the glucose. So glucose being fermented, this is the fermentation. It will produce ethanol. So we can know that X is actually a ethanol. Then this ethanol, when undergoing oxidation, it will produce a carboxylic acid. So the carboxylic acid that is corresponding to the oxidations of the ethanol would be ethanoic acid. So we know that X and Y will produce compound Z, meaning X is ethanol and then Y is ethanoic acid. So with this concentrated sulfuric acid as a catalyst, it will produce what? It will produce ester. So we know that ester is produced from the reaction between alcohol and carboxylic acid. So definitely the answer would be ethyl ethanoate.